bourbon, and I lost 41 pounds with Nutrisystem.
With 80 brand new menu items, Nutrisystem.
Okay, I have finished doing my underpainting here with the toned raw sienna, and now we're going to put on some undershadows, and we're going to mix our toner. Now when you mix this, I want you to mix enough to last you throughout the whole lesson. At the moment, so I'm doing this a little differently because we're doing some different kind of mixing this lesson, so I'm not going to have a video with just mixing colors. So I'm going to mix our toner, and that's going to be some raw umber and some naphtha red. I should have a little more raw umber with it than what I just did. Kind of try to have a little more raw umber than the naphtha red, and a little black. Okay. Let me just get a little bit of black out here. Alright, that's just a little. And grab my palette knife and mix this together. Okay, I'm looking at this and seeing quite a bit of a reddish tone in it, and maybe I need to put a little more black in it, but let me first get it mixed. That's pretty dark. I think I might just put just a tiny little bit more black in it. Just a little. Okay. See what this does. Alright, I think I'll leave it at this. Okay, now these undershadows are naphtha red mixed with toner. So I'm going to put some more naphtha red out here. And I'm not going to use a whole lot because really doesn't take a whole lot to do these shadows. So I'm going to mix a little bit of this toner in with the naphtha red. And I think I'm going to mix a little more. Make this a little darker. Here we go. And what I'm shooting for is the color that I see on our step-by-step photo. And I think I'm getting close, but maybe just a little darker. Put a little more of this toner in. Okay. I think that might work. Yeah, that looks like it'd probably work pretty well. Alright, I actually don't have my wet palette set up, I don't think. Let's see. I should have taken care of that before I turned the camera on. Well, yeah, I've got one I can use. It's got some other paint in it from, actually from candles I was painting for one of my daughters for Christmas. But I'm going to go ahead and use this for now because it's already wet. So I'm going to put my leftover toner in here so that I can preserve that. Okay. Then This is going to end up just a little darker because I got some of it on my palette knife. I think it'll still be okay. Okay, now I'm going to transfer this to the wet palette also, so that I can keep it fresh while I'm using it. Okay. Clean up my knife. Alright. Let's get rid of that. Now our instructions say to load a number 6 filbert in toned raw, reading what we already did. Okay, still gonna use this 6 filbert, and I'm gonna side load that color. And start making some shadows. And I'm going to follow the step-by-step photo that is called Underpainting with Shadows. So, I'm going to side load my brush, blend it out on the palette. But I also want to use some of my Sue's mix to keep this. Okay, I'm going to have this open for a minute. Okay, maybe we will and maybe we won't. Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm going to pour just a little bit of my Sue's mix out here on my palette. And put it on the other side of my brush to keep my paint on the side, to control where my paint goes and what it does. Okay, we'll move this over here, and I'm going to put a shadow on the wing of this bird. I'll put it right here on the edge, outer edge of the wing. Now I've also erased my pattern lines, but you can see some in there because my wash didn't cover them over. And then of course I can't erase them once my wash is over top of them. But they'll disappear as we go along and build more onto our painting. Okay, I'm loading again. And now I'm going to pull this around so that I can get a better grip on it here. And now I'm going to pull this one from the end of the tail and up under the wing, and just up here into the throat, just a little. And then I think we also have a little bit of a shadow on top of the bird's head. Okay, so that's all for that bird. Let's come and let's see, I'm going to turn it again. I find that I turn my surface a lot. It's a good thing I don't paint on walls. Okay, so let's put this shadow here on this bird. And then the one underneath. That goes all the way to the end of the tail. And then we have up in the throat a little, and we have just a little on the top of the head. Okay. Now we have some shadows here in the center of this flower, and I'm going to do the same thing in these leaves, like this. Get another load. The directions did not say to put extender on, so I did not. Okay. Putting the shadow areas on in these leaves here. Pretty much the same, and this you can really just sort of sketch in, you know, the shadow area, you know, from all the other painting you've done. And you can see it's pretty much the base of the leaf with just a little going up into the middle. Okay, let's come around and get these. And you can take some artistic license here. You don't, you know, there's not a hard line where this shadow needs to be. As we go farther and farther into these lessons, you will begin to use more of your own artistic instinct, and you will feel confident about it because you'll be using what you've learned. Okay, I'm going to do these leaves up here in this top flower. I kind of like to go all the way around the painting and do my like elements. Kind of do all them first when I'm doing shadows like this. Works for me. Do it the way you know you feel comfortable. Okay, let me bring this a little closer. This step-by-step photo, so I can see better how we're going to put our shadows in the rose. Okay, let's go down to this big rose, and we're going to put some shadow here in the bowl. And I'm going to go heavier on one side than the other. Then we're going to pull some shadows here in the at the bases of the leaf, or the petal, where the petal joins the bowl of the flower, fading out towards the outside of the petal. That's where you use your side load. Have your heavy loaded part of the brush up next to the rose bowl. And then we're going to put some shadow here in the bowl as well. Okay, that looks like that's it for that rose. So we'll come up here. Now this rose is upside down. Let me load again. Okay, so we're going to have shadow here in this bowl, heavier on one side than the other, and just going to kind of rough in some shadow right here. And just a little in these. In fact, the picture almost kind of shows these as without a shadow, so I'm just barely going to put some in there. Okay, so let's move over to this flower. And get the leaves there, and then we're going to pull out from the center on the petals for the shadows. Try to kind of lift your brush as you head out from the center, so that you get kind of wispy as you get out there. And let's see, I think you can safely do all of those smaller flowers the same way. Gonna reload again. Okay, let's see if there's another element here that's a little different that we haven't done. Well, let's see. The strokes. Okay, this one has a shadow on the outside, tapering. Whoa, I have to do some fixing there. Tapering to the bottom. We have a bit of a shadow here, And we have a shadow on the underside here. Tapering off just past the curve. Down here we have the undershadow again, or shadow on the underside again, let me put it that way. Tapering as the scroll gets smaller. Okay. My surface is rather dry because we are working on a matte surface. We put the multi-purpose sealer on, but it doesn't slide.